too much activity can cause burnout in members. Therefore, don't bombard your members with too many rules, events, etc. Deliver a stream of content and responsibilities at a frequency that they are comfortable with. For example, in KCC, which is the online community that I work in, an end-of-the-month survey revealed that members primarily valued the community for its courses over the other content. As such, we increased our focus on creating courses while reducing the frequency of the live calls. This point is important to consider, as you may inadvertently be allocating undue attention to community features that, while appreciated, are not the primary draw for the majority of your community members. So if you haven't already, it's super important that as a community builder and or manager, you supply some kind of survey or form to your members to really understand why they're actually in your community, what they actually value, and why they joined it. And what we discovered in the particular online community that I work in is that the vast majority of members joined because they wanted access to the courses. They didn't necessarily want the calls. Of course, they wanted the calls, and it was appreciated and something that they attended and were interested in. But for them, the number one draw, the main priority for them, was accessing the online courses. And as such, this gave us the allowance to limit the number of live calls, which indeed were time consuming, to then focus that time and energy and focus on building and providing a bunch of online courses. So for you, you might be actually investing tons of energy and attention into areas of your community that your members may not necessarily be there for. So that's important that you assess what your members are actually in your community for on a regular basis and adjust accordingly. And in terms of this relating to member burnout, this is just to say that you might be giving your members too much of something that they don't want and they're getting tired of it. So it's important to really assess what they're in this for so that you're not burning them out, and indeed that you're not burning out your own resources, time, energy, and attention, providing things that aren't the biggest priority for the majority of your members. And next up, we have ignoring member feedback. And this ties into the previous point. So building and operating an online community isn't a top-down operation. As a community, everyone's in this to ensure each other's mutual welfare. And as far as actionable steps are in this regard to actually assess member feedback, you can include things such as forms, surveys, or just asking for feedback on a consistent basis. For example, in the community that I work in, the community builder will typically bounce ideas off members before implementing them. And this doesn't have to be in the most formal of ways. You can just create a very quick post just being like, hey guys, I had this idea. What do you think of this? Would this be something that you guys are interested in? And you can just sort of bounce ideas off members before even implementing them, because the worst thing that can happen is that you spend ample time, energy, and attention creating some kind of feature, course, or planning some kind of live call, for example, only for members to not actually really have wanted it in the first place. So again, this ties into the previous point, but it could be a point in of its own, in the sense that you really want to get members' feedback and you really want to adjust accordingly with it. And with that, thank you for watching this video. You might consider actually becoming a founding member to my free school community. Now, what this school community will entail, it is yet to launch, but if you fill out the form below and just give me your email so that I can actually invite you as soon as this community launches, you'll gain access to a free community that is all about community building and management and developing and honing and cultivating those skills together as a network. So if that's something that interests you, you can just fill out the form below and I'll invite you in there as soon as it launches.